Hello and welcome to my initial thoughts and review on the Fujinon XF 10 to 24mm lens designed for the Fuji X range of cameras, which is the XE1, XM1, XE2, etc. and so on. I used it on my Fujifilm XE1 camera. Worked an absolute treat. Here is the lens in question. It's 10 to 24, as I said, with a constant aperture of f4. Now, anyone concerned that the aperture doesn't go down terribly low for low light filming, actually you don't need to be concerned. Although it's f4, it has image stabilization, and you'll see from some of the photographs I've taken, which I took inside a museum, quite dark conditions in places, I can tell you, and I was very dubious, but coming back, the results are absolutely super. I went out and about and took quite a few photographs outdoors and indoors. I went into Steam Museum in Swindon and took some photographs under very difficult conditions. This one here was actually in a reception area. The camera was set to automatic, so no post-production done in the edit. It's in Lightroom, as you can see. Now, you can see here, this is shot at its widest end, which was 10mm, and at a shutter speed of 1/30th of a second at f4. So that's all handheld, and even when you zoom in, you can see it's still, you know, nice and sharp. Colours are good. Everything about it is really good. If we just spin through some of these images, you'll see. Let's go inside. Here's an example. Now this was shot at 1/15th of a second handheld at 10mm. And ISO 3200, quite staggering, but there's still, you know, a wee bit of noise, but it's extremely usable. The lens has a nice design. One nice thing about it, which is I think quite unusual for wide angle, it's quite extreme wide on this one. It's not fisheye, so you don't get the distortion that you would from a fisheye lens, but one thing I do like about it is actually all internal. The zoom in and focusing is all internal. It hasn't got that bulge, so you can actually attach filters and accessories onto the lens. If you see here, this was shot at 1/18th of a second at 3200, ISO 3200. Because of the image stabilization built into the lens, you actually get a really nice image. Even, you know, I mean, the detail in that at 1/18th of a second handheld, I think is staggering. I think it's, you know, extremely good. This one here, as an example. Now this was in almost darkness, 1/4 of a second. That would be unheard of with other cameras, but the Fuji range of cameras handle it, and the image stabilization in the lens has handled that beautifully. The one thing that I didn't like about it, I have to say, I wasn't impressed with the aperture ring. It just keeps spinning, and that in itself is an absolute pain, because when you pick it up to take a photograph, if you don't notice in the viewfinder or on the back of the screen what the aperture is, you may well find that it's moved from the last setting that you had. So do be wary of that. I was caught out on several occasions with that, and I had to keep checking that I had it set to the aperture that I wanted. Okay, here's some that I took outdoors on a dull day. ISO 320, 10mm, 1/30th of a second. Lovely, no problem with that at all. And here's another one taken down by the lakes, 1/50th of a second. It's widest at 10mm. As you can see, absolutely super, nice and sharp, plenty of detail there. So you can see from these images, it is a really nice lens and camera combination to use. Out of interest, the actual focal length is 15 to 36 in 35mm terms. So you get a nice wide at 15 and still wide at 36. It's not you know, particularly a telephoto lens, but you can see the results it produces. very, very good indeed. Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted with it. Test it out at your local camera store, and I think you'll be impressed with the wide angle end, right down at the 10mm end. No, it is super. Yeah, really good. It's a lens I shall be using on a regular basis, and it's part of my kit bag. So there we go. And thanks very much for watching this very short and brief review on the Fujinon XF 10 to 24mm lens. Thank you.